So I thought I will make a video explaining not so much of explaining, but more of talking about the supercharger that we fitted in a 100 series, Frankie's car. Why I'm sort of doing it is when I was searching online looking for whatever videos there were a lot of people who fitted it, but I'm just going to explain the things that we found or the things that we did differently, or maybe you guys could learn something from it. So let's start. Okay. So this is a post 2003 2UZ, which means it has so it's 5-speed and it has the throttle body that's driven by wire. Now, out of the box, Bullet supplies the kit pretty complete. I would say almost everything that we needed was already in the kit, but there were some changes that we did to make it easier for us. So one thing, keep in mind, this thing ships in reverse. So you've got to be careful with that. You've got to take it out. Don't open the manifold itself. Just the supercharger unbolts, this bolts over here. Just take them apart and swivel it around, and then you're set. Now, this is also a pipe that is given by Bullet. It replaces the other hose, the factory hose that there is. Also in it, there is a water to air intercooler in the manifold. So the core, I'm not sure who makes the core, but what it comes to, it will come to front here, this massive heat exchanger, also part of the Bullet kit, that is driven by the water pump. So how they gave it initially was, if you notice the brackets over here, it set straight down, which means this heat exchanger was about 40 mm towards the right. But I don't know, maybe it's because of the lights. For this facelift vehicle, it wouldn't clear the water pump very well. Hence why what we did was we fabricated new, changed the brackets, fabricated them new, shifted it about 40 mm to the, for us would be driver, so shifted it towards that side, and now it clears beautifully. How the hoses are run, so this, from this side, front of the engine, let me see if I can get it clear for those who can see. It goes all the way, comes down, comes towards the bottom part out, and on top, the top portion of the heat exchanger. And then for the other one, is just the in for the water pump, and that comes from all the way from the back of the supercharger. So another thing that we did was the entire cooling system for this vehicle was upgraded, as in refreshed. So there's a brand new radiator in it, clutch fan mechanism, even the expansion, the reservoir, external reservoir is brand new. And keep in mind, before we slapped on this supercharger, Frankie had been building the car over a year. Like what I mean by building is, replacing all the essential bits. You have to understand that this is a 20-plus-year-old vehicle. They have seen better days, so it's no longer just oil changes. You're supposed to do a lot of stuff. So every bearings were done, steering rack is new, AHT pump is new, the brake booster, the electric driven brake booster, that is new as well, brand new, original. So a lot of stuff were done before we even planned to go into the supercharger phase. And that's why if someone's going to come to me and tell me like, oh, I just want to get a supercharger, I want you to bolt on, well, I'm going to look at the car first, and if I find the car not in a state that should be bolted on a supercharger, I'm just going to say no, and don't get me wrong, normally these people who just want to do that particular things without fixing all the other stuff, generally if you do something to the car, if let's say I put on the supercharger and the sunroof doesn't work, it would be the supercharger's problem. Or if the power window didn't work, it's because I did the supercharger to it. So rather than me get into trouble from doing all this, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but in Malaysia we do have a saying, siapa makan chili, dia rasa pedas. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And coming back to the supercharger, the other stuff that we had to do was, here is the reservoir for the water to air intercooler. The map sensor that they gave was supposed to fit over here, but I didn't want it in the engine bay, and neither did I want to puncture the rubber boot on the firewall, So we only put in a very thin 4mm nylon hose as our boost reference, and it goes all the way in. So I haven't fitted back the drawer and the console. This will actually be left in the glove compartment. So if anything, the owner can just swap back to factory settings. And the thing is, this car would have no check lights. I tried it without the piggyback ECU from Bullet. It would have no check lights if I just drove it as is. So without that, this is the map switch as well. There's a between running either RON 95 or 100, and then so the map sensor is kept in here. Another thing was they use a 6-core cable, and there's only 3 wires that need to be utilized, so I did not want to run the 6-core all the way out to the front, hence why we just ran in a 4mm nylon as our boost reference and kept it here. So it's much neater in the engine bay. Another thing for wiring side, so the water pump, how it's supposed to be wired in is there's an inline fuse and all that. So but we didn't do that. What we did was this particular fuse box had a slot. It was, I think, ST1 that was not utilized. So the fuse is actually now in the fuse box. It's not just randomly hanging anywhere. So I would have to change the reference on this to show that it's the water pump. It's the water pump fuse. And then power was drawn from underneath of the fuse box, so it's very clean. It doesn't look like there was anything tapped into anywhere. So that's something that we did differently. I mean, look, it's going to come back to whichever is convenient. We will eventually get to the air box. We'll be switching it, but I'm going to take you guys for a drive and see how she feels. If there's a couple of other things that we did. This is a factory hose from a Subaru. I think it was better suited of a fit. And before I forget, so the throttle body from factory Toyota has a heater, so it runs with coolant, and in a climate like ours, you can not need to use it. That's what even Bullet says, if you don't need it, you don't have to use it. But Frankie may be using this car he may not just be in Malaysia, so I rather have it fitted properly, like everything's still bolted on. I mean, it still runs with the heater. The only issue with having that is now you see that it's no longer the highest point. So bleeding took quite a bit to bleed the system, because that has been inverted. This was actually, before this, it was on the bottom side. So now that it's on top, it took a bit to bleed. But yeah, that was all sorted. We did the rear T-joint that is known to leak. So that T was purchased by the owner himself. I'm not too happy with the fitment. It's sort of loose, I would say. The factory clips couldn't even hold it in place. I will monitor it. If I find it to be an issue, we may just go back with the factory plastic ones that are new. So yeah. Alright, let's go, bro. Legs, AC, and this car drives beautifully because we did the entire AHC system as well, so everything is brand new. And this was all done over a period of a year. I would say maybe a little bit more than a year. And that's why I try to say, you just can't straight away hop into doing a vehicle without trying to push power and not do everything else. So yeah, I'm gonna warm it up a bit before I give it a go. Somebody did open the ECU before, as in I think they removed it to work with the aircon, so it wasn't really tightened up quite well. But anyhow, we will be taking apart the AC system soon enough, because all the foams and all have been degraded. So yeah, I mean, right off the bat you can already feel the difference. got to get a mic on the outside for you to hear this sound. This is just mild. This is not. This is just driving normal, you know. And she already effortless. I think Frankie wanted to do some of the in-car stuff and the interior, but you know, once you've got an engine that sounds like that. Really don't need speakers. It's almost at temp. So temperature wise, I plugged in the OBD. It's still at that 88, 90 mark, which is totally normal. There is room for me to add an auxiliary fan if we ever need to. That might be something I do down the road. I don't know yet. I still have to give a couple of runs. We have not dynoed it yet. It's just fresh out of the install. But whatever that bullet claims to be the increase of horsepower, I'm pretty sure that's going to be spot on. It feels like that. I myself have the FTE, the diesel version, and I was like, after I drove this, I'm like, okay, I've got to do something with mine. I've got to get a bigger turbo in the thing. Okay, I'm gonna give her a pull. So also try to look at the cluster more. Okay. Brakes are solid in this car. We also did full DBAs all around. So yeah, it's so fun, man. It's super fun. I mean, exhaust wise, I think I can open up a little bit more. I think there was maybe it's an Australian restriction thing that they don't have it too loud. But yeah, but gosh, can you see the clusters? Also try to turn the gauge to the. So let's see, just. I've got. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Not sure, but you just have to trust me on it. It sounds bloody amazing. Yeah. Gonna drive it for a bit. Mainly not to test it, or mainly just to enjoy it as well. So yeah, if this and it's not much boost. It's running like I think 5 psi. That's what it's doing. So it's minimal, which makes me wonder what is Joshua's one gonna do and Chris one gonna do, because they are running higher boost pressures. So that would be interesting. Like even the Mini we did for Paul's Mini, it's very mild boost pressures, but it's carbureted by Supercharged as well, and that went from, like, I know stock power is like 30 plus horse wheel on a Mini, or 40. It's a 1275, and we got it up to 100. So that's mental itself. Yeah. So I mean, is it worth it? Is this really worth it to put on this? I have to say, I'm gonna have to wait for Frankie to tell me whether it's worth it. But for me, I wouldn't change it. Wouldn't have it any other way. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.